Welcome to this session. My name is Engineer Manyang, and in this session I'll take you through working with your with XAMPP localhost server. So XAMPP localhost server is a cross platform for Apache, MySQL, MariaDB, PHP, and Perl. So many people encounter problems while working with XAMPP server, XAMPP localhost server, when you want to open the server, or you want to start the server or stop the server, or start these elements individually. So there's some problems that you might run through while working with those with the localhost server, and these problems include when you go to your browser. It can be a Mozilla Firefox, a Chrome, or an Internet Explorer browser, and you search for localhost. You will get this error that the site can't be reached, yet you have XAMPP installed. The second is when you access your XAMPP. Yes, you started the XAMPP very well, but when you go to PHP MyAdmin to access your database, you get this error that MySQL said cannot connect. So I'll help you troubleshoot all these so that you have a smooth working XAMPP server. So to start with, I have my cheat sheet here that I'll make it available, and you can download it and use it while you are doing your practice. So in this session, I'll take you through starting a XAMPP server in Linux, and we will be working in a Linux system, which Linux system, and the same commands you can also use them in Ubuntu or any Linux system. So I'll take you through starting XAMPP, how to stop XAMPP server, how to create a server manager, how to open that MySQL database, as we saw the SQL error here, and I'll show you how to create a desktop icon so that each and every time you don't write a command, but you can start your XAMPP just by clicking a desktop launcher. So to begin with, let's go to terminal so that we can start writing our commands. And accessing terminal, you go, press on Ctrl-Alt-T. Then the first command we will write is starting a XAMPP server. And before you search in your browser, first start the XAMPP server manually from the terminal. So starting a XAMPP server, the XAMPP is installed in root directory, in the root folder, in a folder called in a directory called opt, and we have to direct our command to this opt folder under this lamp. Then these are our XAMPP folders, and these htdocs, this is where we create our projects, and you can create any folder here that you will be using to store your project. So quickly, let's start our XAMPP server. And starting XAMPP server, you access it using root. So we will write sudo /opt/lamp/lamp white space start. So you can see you will get search, and you can see I also wrote that on my cheat sheet that you should see something like this. So that's when opening XAMPP or starting XAMPP. So when we go to when we close this and we go to our browser, then search for localhost, and now we should be able to access the XAMPP dashboard. So when we go to PHP MyAdmin, we can connect to PHP. We can connect to PHP MyAdmin, and here we have our database. So I want to show you how to close XAMPP server. So closing XAMPP server, you have to go to terminal and write sudo white space /opt/lamp /lamp white space stop. So sudo opt lamp stop. This will stop your XAMPP server from running, and you can see that Apache is stopped, MySQL is stopped, and proof FTPD is stopped. So when we go back to our browser and search for localhost, the site can't be reached. So I say that if you get this error, means that your server is not running. That's why you will get this error. The third way I'll show you is creating a server manager. That's an interface that we can use either to start our XAMPP server, to stop our XAMPP server, to change and do more other settings in our server. So it's called the server manager. So all these commands are available in my cheat sheet here, and you can see them. So accessing server manager or opening a server manager, you will have to change directory to the opt then lamp folder. Then we will access this file run. We will access this file called the manager Linux 64-bit run. So copy these two commands. Don't copy the $sign. Copy these two commands and paste them in your terminal. So pasting in terminal is Control-Shift-V. Then you can see that our server manager is started. So our server manager is started, and we can manage our servers. We can stop MySQL. So all are stopped because before we open this, we stopped our server. So we can start them one by one, or we can start them in all of them. So when I go to start all of them will be started and they will be running. We can see application log, our welcome page, and once our servers have started, then we can be able to use the XAMPP server, and we can access XAMPP localhost from our browser. So you can see all servers are running, and I can stop all, or I can stop one element, or there is a problem that you might encounter, and you're likely to encounter it while working with XAMPP. The problem is with SQL and MySQL. I say that XAMPP uses MariaDB, and when you are using Linux system, there is possibility of a clash in the port used by MySQL in MariaDB, used by MySQL in your machine, and this database in XAMPP. So whatever you can do is to change the port used by this MySQL database, because MySQL uses port 3306. So you can come here and change this to port 3307 so that there is no clash in the port and in the connection path. So to avoid that, you change this to 3307. So if you have a system or an application like MySQL Workbench, MySQL Workbench runs on port 3306, and that's the localhost port. So for you, when you're using XAMPP and you have also MySQL Workbench connected, you will have to change this to port 3307. So you have seen how to start server manager, but there's a problem here. When you can look when you see here, my code is still running. My code is still running, and when I have this, you want to see something. If I want to pause my this, whatever my terminal is doing here, I can pause it by pressing on Control C. Let me go to terminal, Control C, and it will close the server manager. So meaning that when your server manager is open, your terminal also has to be open. But I want to show you a way in which you can just access your server manager without getting to how you can access your server manager without your terminal being necessarily open. So how you go about that? That's to do with creating a desktop icon. So creating a desktop icon will assist you to access your server manager, or you can start your XAMPP or stop your XAMPP. So that you do by going to your desktop. So when I go to my desktop, right click, then create a new launcher. So here I will call it XAMPP Manager. So here I will have to write a command that will help me to launch this XAMPP Manager. So writing this command, don't there's a caution here, don't copy this command the way it is. It will not work here. It can only work directly in terminal, but it won't work here in launcher command section. So what you will do, we will write write another command here. So we'll just shorten this command so that it can be a one-line command. Here you can see there are two-line commands that terminal will first execute this, then it executes the second command where you will enter your root password since you used sudo. So here we are going to incorporate all these into one-line command. So doing that is done by writing sudo space /opt /lamp /manager Linux. Then let me just copy this. And paste it here from manager. So this is a one-line command that directs my terminal to this and direct my terminal to this lamp folder and to the manager.run file. So I want to launch in terminal and OK. So would you like to add this launcher to menus? Yes. So so I have my launcher created, and if I come to my menu and go to other file, so you can see XAMPP Manager. So let me add, I want to add it to desktop. So I have it added to desktop. And when I double click on it, now you can see I'll be prompted for a sudo password, and I enter my sudo password. So you see it opens this directly, so I can manage my servers from here. And if I close this, my server is still running. If I close that, my server is still running. And if I confirm, you can see my server is still running. I only closed that application, but the server, I didn't close the server, so the server is still running and I can access my databases, as you can see here. So that's how you go about with creating a XAMPP Manager, and you can do the same with creating a launcher to only start XAMPP or to stop XAMPP. You will do the same thing. So go and create a launcher. Here you will say that XAMPP start. So XAMPP start, and you write the command sudo white space, I should be in lowercase, sudo white space /opt /lamp /lamp white space stop. So this command, you can use it to stop your lamp. You can use it to stop your XAMPP. So I will not add it since I have my server manager and I will not want to use it. So when you want to access it, you can access it from here and you add it to your desktop. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how you open your server manager, and that's how you open XAMPP. Thank you for watching. And when you have any problem while working with XAMPP, you can contact me, and I'll make this cheat sheet available so that you can also use it, because I've compiled you the commands that you will need while working with XAMPP and opening MariaDB on MySQL database. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment what problems you might encounter with XAMPP. Thank you, Engineer Umanyang.